Hey, what's going on, friends? Family, my name's Skylent, and today we're talking about the news that just kind of dropped here for Ashes of Creation. They showed off their Alpha 1 early preview. It's a stream. It's like 2 hours long, just about. And what we kind of see in it, not too much. We don't get too much, but they do actually have like a little bit of a Q&A, sort of. A little bit of a dialogue talking about the future of the game. And I'm going to be honest here, guys, in this ranty news video thing, I don't know, preview review, I'm not really going to be talking about that because I don't really trust developers, especially Kickstarter MMO developers. So like whatever they say is like how we're going to balance it and like this is what we're going to do and blah blah. I don't really care. All I care about is what we literally just like see on the screen. And that's what I want to talk about immediately, because now I'm very, very confused about what this game's going to be. If I just go based off of what I do see, what I can clearly see is it's actually really more reminiscent of something like Pantheon or Project Gorgon or a lot of those Kickstarter, you know, harkening back to the old days, kind of like retro inspired MMO. So this is kind of what's the vibe I'm getting from this right now, is it's going to be a little bit slower paced, maybe a lot of it slower paced, but it is cool that we actually have flying mounts and the combat doesn't seem like too dreary. The graphics don't seem too abysmal. Honestly, a lot of these games just look kind of shitty, but even if this is the most produced out of this whole retro inspired genre, I'm confused because I thought the game was going to be more action based, especially given playing the Battle Royale, which almost felt like Warframe, and all of the trailers that we've seen were really cinematic or incredibly action packed. So I'm like, what? I thought this game would be kind of an in-between of maybe those kind of games and something like Black Desert. Like I thought this was going to be like the action version of those games, and now it just kind of seems like debatably a prettier version of those games that does also focus on PvP instead of being a PvE oriented game. Well, it's kind of, you know, in between a little bit. I'm just, you know, I'm a little concerned. If we just talk about the graphics for a second. The UI and everything, that's, you know, everyone says like, well, that's the last thing that gets updated. I just don't see why. I feel like if you have a clear image of what you want your game to look like, and honestly, MMOs UI is like extremely fucking important. I feel like the UI should be generally kind of like, you know, the shape of it and everything should be finished. But if they're flip-flopping on their combat, you know, so quickly, going from action-based to not, and then the UI looks the way it does, maybe it is telling, I don't know, but it looks like it's just going to be like a rotation spammy game. I guess it could, I don't know, how many skills do we have? Like 10, 1 to 0? Yeah, I mean, I guess Guild Wars 2 is also like that. Elder Scrolls can also, I don't know. It could go either way, but basically the UI just looks kind of like a usual MMO. The gameplay looks kind of standard-ish if you consider like the World of Warcraft clones. But there's a lot of, you know, these epic features such as like the city building, the node progression system, blah, blah, blah. We have to actually see those systems take place before I really talk about those. Besides, there's tons of people who have already mentioned those. That's all the Kickstarter dream stuff, but it just kind of looks bad. The game just looks bad. So yeah, the UI, I guess it's to be expected. I don't know. But it just, everything just screams like this is going to be a standard MMO that has lofty dreams, lofty ambitions. But at the same time, I don't know, it just, the graphics just, to me, it screams like this game is Unreal Store the MMO. Like it looks like they just took a bunch of Unreal assets, the Unreal, you know, general post-processing, just slapped that shit on. It looks very Unreal Engine. I don't know how to explain it better. It just looks like Unreal Engine, and they are making an MMO, apparently. Now, other games like Camelot Unchained are trying to make, I believe, their own engine, and it's taking them a little bit longer to produce. And it's also harder to make it look pretty early because of that. Yeah, I think, you know, a lot of these games do generally look ugly, so this game has the benefit of looking prettier quicker, but I don't think it looks more unique or original. Like Crowfall definitely looks way, way, way more original, and that's something I prize heavily. But, you know, I think a lot of people are gonna sink into this one because comparing it to some games, I don't know, you could say it looks better, but to me, I'm somebody who's more of a fan of like, you know, World of Warcraft, that more artistic direction, and it's also more timeless. Even if a game does look cheesier, maybe like WildStar, I'm definitely okay with that. And don't get me wrong, I'm actually okay with the more realistic touch, such as Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 I thought looked really good, though I don't like its choice of post-processing, and I don't like some of its performance issues in certain areas of the game. But Elder Scrolls Online, I really hate the way that graphics look. Yet at the same time, I can appreciate the fact that it is kind of similar to the Elder Scrolls series, and it actually does run pretty freaking well. This game, it's a stream. I kind of don't like that they did it as a stream. I kind of don't like how they're producing this. I cannot tell how well the game is running. And some people are like, well, that all happens later. I'm just saying, like, in votes for confidence, the game just kind of looks like thrown together assets. And a whole lot of this stream was a whole lot of what the game will be versus what it is. And what it is right now just it's not as evoking. Honestly, as much hate as the Battle Royale got, the combat was weird. It was different. And if we had an MMO like that, which we kind of do with Black Desert Online, if we had that like quick, fast-paced, really intense PvP-oriented gameplay, I think that'd be really fun because we're not going to get that in MMOs. Kind of, you get it in PlanetSide 2. Yeah, you get it in Black Desert. But otherwise, a lot of other games are very sticky and slow, and it looks like this game's going to follow that same pace. It looks like it's going to be, like a usual MMO, other than its macro details, which we have to see again. But they're Alpha 1. I guess maybe some people might be excited about this because it does look like a usual MMO. And honestly, we are hungry for a usual MMO, just one that actually runs, that's good, that has the macro guild features that we want. And if it is going to be world conquesty and PvP or PvEVP, then just make sure it just works. Again, this trailer, whatever, a preview, it doesn't show any MMO features, really. Some people think RPG features means MMO, and just because they played at a party means MMO. No, I want to see, like, kind of like in the Battle Royale, how we have, like, 50 people fighting together. Show us a siege, which you've shown in the trailers. Actually, show us that gameplay. Where's the siege gameplay? Where's, like, the giant world boss gameplay? That's the kind of stuff that I want to see, and the fact that they're still hesitant about showing that, and it really, this just kind of feels like we are really early on in development when this game apparently is going to be launching an alpha and people are going to be playing it. I don't know, man. In the end, I'm not feeling very confident about the game, but I am interested to see it played. I'm okay with this direction the game is going in. I was excited for Pantheon or Project Gorgon. I think it could be cool. The different abilities that I saw showcased, such as pooling and stuff like that, literally with chains. Definitely a fan of that. Death Knight hype, World of Warcraft. But I don't know. The Kickstarter was like, we're going to be a PvEVP game with cities that you can build up from the ground up. There's going to be sieges and stuff and giant, cataclysmic events. Show us that. Instead, they're just kind of panning around basically an Unreal Asset world. I don't know. This preview just wasn't that hype for me. A lot of the comments actually are excited about it. So maybe they're glad that it's moving away from the Battle Royale system, stuff like that. Maybe this game isn't for me in the end. But, I think this is the kind of game that I was so hyped that any sort of oh, alpha's coming soon. Oh, you'll be able to play the game soon. Anything like that, even if they literally show basically nothing, is going to get people excited because people just want their dopamine, right? They just want to play. And this is something that I'm definitely experiencing right now with the community with Last Oasis. Any new MMO, people just like, let me in, man. They just want to play. People just want to fucking play. It doesn't even matter if it's garbage or not. Trust me, we were there for Atlas and Bless Online. People do not give a fuck. They just want a new MMO and they just want to sink their teeth into something. So hopefully this game turns out to be something. A lot of these games are taking a long time to come out. And maybe they're just being very public and open. I don't know. But anyways, I think the footage kind of speaks for itself. I'm sure somebody else is going to regurgitate all the little details and information. But really, honestly, I feel like watching this, they just kind of repeated themselves a lot. It's a lot of stuff, like a lot of hopes and dreams kind of stuff. And I just don't really feel like talking about that. I'll do top upcoming lists and maybe I'll mention some stuff there. But trying to take it seriously, I just can't anymore. I can't take MMOs seriously. I don't feel like they take themselves very serious. So when this game's actually playable, we'll talk about it a little bit more. Or if there's more like true, juicy footage, like if they do a siege, test or whatever, hell yeah, that's gonna be hype. And hopefully they do. With the alpha, they let people in and they stress test it. We'll probably get gameplay like that. So, look forward to it, but just, don't hinge all your bets on this one game. There's a bunch of others out there that are coming out that also look exciting, and I mentioned those already in the video. So yeah, guys, much love. They did just, I'll post a link to the video in the description or in a comment. Development update plus Alpha 1 early preview, guys. Check it out. If you guys want to, if you're a backer or whatever, maybe this excites you, let me know. If you're not a backer or if you've just been paying attention to Ashes of Creation, how do you feel about them just constantly flip-flopping direction with their combat, which is supposed to be the main meat of the game, being PvEVP. So I don't know. A little dubious, but that's just me. Let's I don't know, skeptical but optimistic maybe, because this is like one of the most funded Kickstarter games out there. So like, is it too big to fail? I don't know. All right, guys, much love, keep the hype alive, and I'll see you again next time.